Bad to have gum in your mouth. Okay. We did. We got 3 of them. It was good. A couple of the freshmen made some good plays. I mean, that was good. They did a nice job on the very first one because we get pressure. Huntley makes us miss a couple times, and he scrambles around and throws it. And that's one of those balls that, to be honest with you, when that ball was thrown, I flashed back to Michigan State. We had the same thing happen, and the guy catches it for a big-time play. And he should have caught that one. Yep. We get sometimes, I mean, today was the Sun Devils' day. That ball bounces off his hands, and Ashari intercepts it. Now he was in a good position. He's trying to maintain coverage. He did a pretty good job in coverage for the most part of the day. Should have had another pick on the cover 2 at the end of the half, which we learned from last week. So that's good. But big-time players make big-time plays when you need them to, and they're starting to understand their role and how to do things.
When Moss is getting a lot of yards at a clip in the first half, what are you saying? What are you trying to?
Was not surprised by that. I told them early for them to understand the physicality that this was going to take. They needed to. I mean, the game speed. You can't replicate that in practice. It's impossible. When we run the stunts we're running in practice, it looked more like the second half because the scout team. It's just. The difference is we're in the backfield every play, so they're not reacting the same. So it took a little bit of time. It took through there was about 6 minutes in the second quarter left when they started to finally realize, okay, this is how we need to do these stunts. On a couple of their first touchdown drives, we run a couple stunts that the ball should have been stoned in the backfield. We either run around a block the wrong way, or we get penetration and we're not doing our job. And so we talked them over the sideline. I knew it was going to be that way early. I was just hoping that we could hold off the onslaught and keep the game close and have a chance, because I knew eventually we would get into some stuff that they weren't going to be able to protect. We were going to be able to give them some numbers. We were going to be able to do some stuff that they had not seen all year, and our guys executed it. And so it was good.
You've talked a lot about kind of having your guys play better in those last 2 minutes and not letting that last drive. How pleased were you this time where it is a 3 and out?
I was pleased at the end of the first half. I wasn't pleased at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Now we had a couple guys that we had a little bit of a substitution deal that I actually asked Coach Edwards to call timeout, which is against all rules. You don't call timeout when they're going 2 minute, but we needed to settle down. We had some young kids. And then we stopped them and get an interception. I mean, we went out there, and I don't know if we relaxed. I don't know. I mean, we talked about on the sideline, you got a chance to suffocate somebody. You got this 38-20. Let's finish them off. And we give them a couple big pass plays. Now it was a couple assignments. We called cover 2. We should be able to catch tackle because we're up 3 scores. So let's just, if they get a couple yards, okay, but let's not score. Well, they're not scoring like 4 plays. So we called timeout and settled them down. And from that point on, they don't move the ball, and we get an interception. So that was good. We overcame the 2 minute deal in those 2 situations. And then turnovers. I think we're starting to mature. I mean, our younger kids are starting to play better. Okay, they're starting to understand the concepts of what we're trying to do. They're playing hard. They're playing physical. I thought Utah was the more physical team for about a quarter and a half. And then for the next 2.5 quarters, I don't think it was even close. Our offensive line up front was dominating their D-line. We can't rush for 200 yards. I don't know if we were close to that. Okay. They have been pounding the ball on everybody, scoring 41 points, 480 yards. Well, we were the more physical team today. That doesn't mean if we play them every time it's going to be that way. We're going to build to where it is that way every time. We want to be the most physical, dominant team in this league. And we're headed in that direction. We've still got some work to do on that. But the thing when Manny threw that ball and they got a turn, I thought Manny played an awesome game. He made one bad throw. He played an awesome game today. The great thing was, you see about 6 or 7 of our guys on defense run up to Manny, and I think Darian was the first one. Said, hey, man, we got you. No big deal. We're going to get the ball back. And they did. They got the ball back. Now, we allowed them to score a field goal in the second half. I told those guys at halftime, if they don't score, we win. Well, I was close. They scored 3. So, I'm proud of them. They made good effort. Now, we've won 2 before. We won a big game against Michigan State in the end of the year, and we came out and thought we'd arrived. We have not arrived. And they will be told that all week long. I think you can coach them better when you win if you're starting and we get after them. You don't have to cuss them out, and it's not going to be that way, but they're going to be coached hard, and they're going to be told exactly. I mean, we got a good team coming. UCLA's got a bunch of great athletes, and if we relax, they can score a bunch of points and then beat us.
Did it change your calculus or how you defended after Huntley went out?
They didn't. They were behind, so they weren't running the same offense. And I knew they were going to have a hard time protecting some of our stunts. I was a little worried about 18, so we tried to make sure that they couldn't get him some screens. They got on the screen one time. We were in cover 2. That was a good call by them. We should have been defended a lot better than we did. But we talked it on the sideline. We drew some things up so that we could defend him. They motioned him across one time, and we blew an assignment. And I mean, it was good learning because we should have the guy running with him. And Ashari stops and doesn't run with him. Well, he's wide open in the flat now. It was a bubble. It was a fly bubble. They don't throw it to him. But they've got great coaches in the press box, so they're going to see that and come back to it. So we went over that on the sideline. They came back to it later, and we covered it so they couldn't throw it to him. I thought that they got lucky when Tyler, the Lole caused the fumble that I thought was a fumble that they overturned. But the best part of that and the most proud moment I had is that ball's floating around, and we do this every day in practice. When there's an incomplete pass, they're expected to pick it up and run to it. And they don't, at the beginning, they didn't understand why. If there's a football on the ground in practice, they have to sprint to it and pick it up. Well, it almost paid big-time dividends today. And Tyler ran over there, scooped it up, and almost went down there. We'd give the ball in the offense on the 10-yard line or something. They're understanding our expectations, and it's a pretty thing in progress now. We still got a long way to go. Please don't write in the papers how wonderful they are, because they're not. And we don't need to go through all that again. But we're making progress. And we beat a really good football team today.
I'll try to temper my question, but yes. I thought Jermaine Lole had his breakout game.
He played good. You know, I knew Jermaine was going to be a good player. Coach Nua has done a great job with him. We recruited him really hard at our previous school. Thought we had him, and then ended up he's here. It's an evolution of growing for someone in his position. It's hard to play on the D-line as a true freshman. You're playing against grown men. You're an 18-year-old kid. You don't have the same strength. You haven't seen the speed of the game. Congratulations, one. And so him to be able to grow through this process, and now we're into the 9th game, he's had enough time to kind of develop. He had a little bit of trouble early. He was suspended for game 1. So he's matured, and they couldn't block him today. Between him and Tyler Johnson, they had a really hard time blocking him. They are starting to understand our expectation. We had a young man now start today. They're going to do everything that they're expected to do, or they won't play. And they know I don't care who you are. I don't care who it is. You're not going to play if you don't do things the right way. And that entails everything. So Jermaine started from day 1. He had a little hiccup. Our thing around here is they might have hiccups. We're not going to let them fall. We're going to keep coaching them. We're going to keep the maturation progress going, and it's evident today. He played well today. Now it doesn't mean he's going to play well next week. So we're going to coach him hard to try and get him in those positions to have a chance to do that.
That play that Crosswell made the interception.
Yes, in the first half.
Was that the kind of thing because he's had some issues earlier where he didn't make an interception or something didn't go his way?
I think it's a combination of both those things. He got really lucky. The guy dropped the ball. I mean, that was, like I said earlier, was the Sun Devils' day. But he covered the first 2 routes that the guy ran because it should have been a sack. And I'm getting fired up on the sideline because we should hit Huntley in the back of the head and cause a fumble. And he ducks underneath us, and we have two different guys miss him. He's able to roll out, and now the receiver, Ashari covered the first one. The guy came back, he covered the second one. Now he turns and runs to the end zone, and Ashari's trying to wheel around to chase him. And the ball's up in the air forever. And those are 50-50 balls. Well, he's had a bunch of them, and my thought was, oh God, here's Michigan State, they're gonna catch it, or here comes the flag for a PI. Well, the young man made a great play. It bounced off his hands, he's there to make the play, and then he had a pretty good return. So I thought that was a huge play. I mean, it gave us an opportunity to go up 14. Offense did a great job moving the ball, and I mean, it's a growing progress, and he's getting better every week. When he makes mistakes, they're glaring because they're out in the open. Everybody sees him. When a guy like Lole makes a mistake, not everybody sees it because there's too many bodies around. And this mistake might be just as big and just as key. I mean, we had a 3rd and 5, we call a corner blitz. We have a linebacker that doesn't come inside. He goes outside the tackle. If he comes inside, he hits Moss in the backfield for about an 8-yard loss. Well, instead they get a first down. It was one of their 5 of 12 first downs. So those are the kind of things that we still have to finish correcting. But he made a great play. He's maturing, and it was good.
You mentioned how bad assignment errors were at the beginning of the year. Have you noticed, like, when you're just standing on the sideline, like, that those have kind of calmed down a lot in the last couple of weeks?
They have. I think 2 weeks ago against Stanford, our block reactions that we talk about, because we're not a gap control team, we're cancel gaps in alignment and movement. That was really good against Stanford. We were not as good against SC last week. Now, the good thing that's happening is because they're playing hard, instead of that being a 2-yard loss, it's only a 6-yard gain, where there should be 2 yards losses. Today we had, early on, they were a little bit more physical than us. The speed was a little bit too much, and we had a couple guys that block reacted wrong. We did some stuff that they weren't used to, and so they were trying to make adjustments on the sideline as well. And then once we got used to the tempo and the physicality, I thought we were the more physical team, and that's why that stuff worked. The assignments were good, but the block reactions is what's the most important or better. Assignment errors are glaring. Block reaction stuff is not, but they do get big plays. And we're getting better at that. I thought it was, now I haven't watched the tape, so I could watch it tomorrow and be like, are you kidding me? We got lucky. But we won 38-20, so it's a good win against a really good football team. They're the hottest team in our league coming in. Everybody was talking, I was watching ESPN this morning, they got the 48% FPI, whatever that is, to win the Pac-12. Well, guess what? Now it's not going to be 48%. And we control our own destiny. Colorado lost last night. We win the next 3, we're playing for the Pac-12 championship. Doesn't mean we're going to. It means we have a chance. And we got a bunch of good football players in there. We got a good football team that's getting better each week. It's nice to have a chance.
More Chase earlier.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. He didn't come out on the first series, and he played the next series, and so he'll learn from it.
Yeah.
But we don't screw around. I mean, stuff, everything. There's a standard and an expectation, and they're going to do it right. And when you do all that stuff right, it makes you a better football player and a better football team. So,
how do you try and relay, I guess, to your team that they're still not that good, but they have a chance to control their own destiny?
No, I don't sugarcoat it. I tell them. I tell them where I think we're deficient. I tell them where I think we're good. And like I said, if you don't tell lies, you don't have to remember what you say. So I don't lie to them. I tell them exactly how I feel. I give them my opinion. And what we've got is a bunch of guys that believe in the coaches. They believe in what we're doing. Now they're starting to get some benefits from winning some games. I mean, that's a really good football team over there in that other locker room. They're 15th ranked team in the country, and you know what? They deserve to be the 15th ranked team in the country. Well, they came in here and we bullied them around today. That's
Robertson's
good.
interception, is that a play that maybe 5 weeks ago he wouldn't have made?
Probably not.
He wouldn't have read that.
Probably wouldn't have been in the right spot.
Yeah, okay.
And it was a good job. We were playing cover 2. We were trying to give them we were trying to outnumber them in the box. Giving them some different looks. We played some cover 2 with 4 under. We played some cover 2 with 2 under. We played some cover 2 today with 1 underneath dropper. That's it. And that's unconventional football. But I thought we needed to have some numbers up there to stop the run and take some chances. You can't do it every play, but you can take some calculated risks. I think they threw the ball on one of them and they got about a 6-yard gain because we had one guy underneath in the middle. But the rest of the time, we're tackling them. We're making contact at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield. There's a drastic, I'm telling you, from the 6th 50 minute of the second quarter till the end of the game, there's a drastic change on where the O-line and D-line is. I was hoping it wouldn't take that long, but I knew it was going to be a little bit because we weren't used to the speed. And, I mean, I'm proud of our guys. They played hard. They were the aggressor. They were the more physical football team.
And so Robertson, just to bring it back to him, he was able to read what was going on there.
Yes. He saw now early on and on the touchdown, we should have been right underneath that. They run those RPOs, which I think, give high school coaches great credit because they invented that RPO junk that makes our lives miserable, and it's impossible to defend because it looks like a running play. Well, it's 3rd and 5. He didn't know the down and distance when I'm talking to him on the sideline. So the next time they run the RPO, he waits. He's patient. He took coaching on the sideline, but players make plays. Coaches don't make plays. Don't give coaches credit. Coaches give them a chance. If you've got good players, they make plays. Merlin Robinson's a really good football player. He played a terrible first half. And after the interception, I was proud of him. I walked over to him and he goes, "Coach, I told you I got you." I said, "Good, I need you to be better this half." And he was. So young guys are learning. And they, like I said, they're believing in what we're doing and I believe in them. So it gives you a chance.
Thank you guys.